So yes, it's more the information. The facts don't lie. The people do. The people always try, though. The people always try. I'm gonna tell you like this. First of all, today there was this conference that took place, headed by the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, and then all the attention is really pointed at this individual that represents the international settlements that take place, with cross-border payments, and this talk now with central banks introducing digital coins and all this. This is see it. More of the signs. Here we are, approaching the end of 2020. We are approaching the end of 2020, and these political figureheads, these people who seem like they draft up plans, right, to conduct worldly affairs and to enact and execute orders, right, and create guidelines and rules and planning for the world. IMF is supposed to support emerging and developing countries by issuing loans and things of that nature. It's just all of this talk. And even your man James Powell from the Federal Reserve even mentioning global stable coins, and then stopped talking right after that, right? This whole movement with the status quo, the government bodies, the central banks, they recognize the power that's being slowly siphoned away from their grips of control, and dare I say tyranny, straight up and down. And it's being transferred to those who are familiar with what's at hand and what can be afforded with cryptocurrency, specifically starting with Bitcoin. Okay? They do not want the people to believe that Bitcoin has any value. They do not want the people to believe that Bitcoin has any utility, has any intrinsic value, has any use case. They can't stop it, and they are afraid. If today, for those who don't know, wasn't a sign. Okay, today these people had their conference, their meeting, their whatever you want to call it, right? And let the world know that they were meeting. What about those meetings they have that the world doesn't know about? Another story for another day that they may never come to, because I may never talk about it. Anyway, so here we are. They're telling you to your face that they're about to introduce digital coins. They've been working on digital coins for quite a while, not because of this year and what COVID-19 brought to the world. They've been working on this for quite some time because they see that the power, that the control they had, that their level of domination is weakening. It's weakening. And they want you to believe. They want us to believe that they're in our corner, that we should look forward to relying on their centralized banking digital currencies, that it will afford us, opportunities to transact better, And there's these new initiatives, to spoon feed us some make-believe story that many people, believe it or not, are going to believe, and they're going to gobble up. Meanwhile, those who can read and understand what they're reading and understanding it, and who have experienced what crypto has brought to the world, know better. We know better. We know that they are terrified. I'm telling you, they're scared. They're scared. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, where to scramble. You can't turn the Bitcoin blockchain off. Each second that goes by, the network effect grows stronger and stronger and stronger. It's too late for them to gather up all the supercomputers in the world and try to shut it down. They had a chance maybe in the first year when Bitcoin launched. Now it's too late. Now it's too late. When you have public and private companies who are publicly declaring that they're buying thousands of BTC every day. They're buying more Bitcoins that are being, they are buying more Bitcoins daily than Bitcoins that are being mined daily. Like, this is what's happening right now. People are not really understand. People won't know. Only those who know now will know. Those who know now will know. But the masses to come have no clue. It's like we're looking at them. I'm like, yo, are you not aware of what's going on right now? And it's not their fault, because I was once them, and I'm not placing judgment. Not placing judgment. It's just like with this flashlight that I'm holding that's just so bright, looking through this dark cloud that 2020 brought, there's also this silver lining in that cloud that the cryptocurrency has introduced, that's just getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And the powers that be are upset. They're gobbling up and acquiring the Bitcoin, and this has been written in articles where they are actually describing it now as the institutions. That's a digital currency for the institution. Institutional digital currency. Is that insane or what? Bitcoin is not owned by anybody. But guess what, though? Like I've been saying, if corporations and companies like Grayscale can have 2.5% of the amount of Bitcoin, $450,000. 450,000 Bitcoins in their possession. Yes, they are going to be the movers and shakers. Yes, they are going to carry a lot of weight. They are taking the chance away from poor people. They are taking the chances away from the poor to acquire some form of freedom. They're taking it away every day. Quicker now than I've ever seen it. Quicker now. How many companies, ever since, 2 months ago or a month, whatever, when MicroStrategy just said, yeah, they're just buying $425 million worth of crypto, worth of Bitcoin, not crypto, but Bitcoin, and just leaving it as a treasury reserve or whatever. Stone Ridge did the same thing. Grayscale, we know what they're doing. And all these there's a list. This is like public record. These people just are letting the world know. Even the Rothschilds have exposure to Bitcoin through Grayscale. The Rothschilds. Pretty soon, you're going to see folks like Warren, but when this thing hits a certain, and this is just me speculating here, this is not a fact, it's just me guessing, speculating, possibly even predicting, which I don't like to do. I'm talking to y'all, though. I'm just having a conversation. When this thing reaches a certain level of price point, you're going to have all these people who had everything bad to say about Bitcoin turned, it's just going to be 180 degree change your mind and start to do whatever it takes. I'm telling you, people are going to be fighting each other just to get fractions of this thing. When one is getting produced, companies are buying 1.1. I tell you, like they say, after every halving so far, there's been 3 halvings. After each halving, the following year after every halving, there's been a remarkable bull run. So we just had a halving this summer. I want to say the spring, late spring, early summer. So 2021, better strap on, get strapped in for that ride, because it's about to be really crazy, because they're making no excuses, and they're not ashamed to even declare it. These companies are saying that this is becoming their institutional asset. You know what that means? Out of the hands of the people. So for whoever is listening to this, to what I'm saying here, for whatever it's worth, they see the power. And for those who don't believe, I don't know what to tell you. You have the right not to believe. You have the right not to believe. But the problem is, should things fare the way that everyone else is talking about, I mean, the crazy drastic reduction in the amount of Bitcoin that will be circulating, should everything really continue to squeeze as it should, because the math, it's designed to deflate. Bitcoin is designed to deflate. So the amount will be less. That's what allows it to be a hard asset. There's a limit, there's a cap. Should this continue the way it's unfolding, people they're going to miss their chance, man. And it's sad. It's sad. People are going to miss their chance. I don't know what to say if this is a beautiful struggle. I don't know what to say if this is a masterpiece of woe, or a divine macabre tapestry. I don't know what to call it, man, because we're dealing with the it's like, man, this is gonna be like catastrophically beautiful. What is it? What do we call this? What do we call this? What are we saying here? So any sat that anyone could acquire now, who takes a risk, because it's not a financial advice, I'm just presenting information. Any sat that you are able to acquire now, man, it's like, hold on to that joint if you can. Just hold on to it. Hold on to it. These people are not talking about, just any old coins. There are 7,000 cryptos out here, man. And these people are just focusing on the super top tier, thereby forgetting about all the others, the thousands of others, which at this point could be considered trash. The rest of these cryptos that are out here could be considered trash. They could be considered trash. And I'm talking about the top tier, like maybe 5 or less, the top 5 or less. And that's me being generous, man. I don't, they only talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum a close second. That's it. That's all they're talking about. And maybe stable coins, but they're trying to introduce a digital currency, digital central bank controlled digital currency, their own stable coins. So that, you can continue to deal with their system. Meanwhile, this decentralized coin called Bitcoin has been doing this thing for the past 11 years and will continue with no central authority involved. When I saw the cross-border payments, I'm like, oh, look at them. They're trying. They're really trying, man. They must be crying every night now. When you got the Rothschilds, those who, people who know about the Rothschilds, when you have the Rothschilds who are openly saying they are exposed to Bitcoin, they say they have hundreds of trillions. This is a family, a world leader. Some may say one of the members of the elite, most elite, that have hundreds of trillions as far as resources and wealth amassed, equating to hundreds of trillions, are exposing themselves to BTC, man. It's about to get crazy out here, man. Don't make no mistake about it, man. It's about to get crazy out here. It's about to get crazy out here in a minute. And I'm not talking about people running through the street, losing their minds, flipping their wigs. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're going to see the day of reckoning. You understand? Like, we're going to see when the value of the dollar, the global world currency, the dollar, is being challenged the way it is, at the rapid pace that it is. Why would these institutions waste their time, open their books up and say, you know what, we're going to use Bitcoin as a reserve, not gold, not silver, as a reserve, or bonds and these other securities, etc. No, Bitcoin. Because they see how the US dollar is being devalued. They see what the quantitative easing and the fractional reserve banking and the hyperinflation has done to the fiat currency. They see that their wealth is dwindling in cash and are trying to hold on for dear life and grab all the Bitcoin they grab. That greed factor is so prevalent right now. That greed factor, it's all about greed. It's all about greed. You can't tell me 450,000. Grayscale has 450,000, 2.25%, and they still acquiring. That's not about greed. Now it's even more true. There are people who will never even have, if this continues at the rate that it's going, they won't even ever know what it's like to even have 1/10, to own 1/10 of BTC. Maybe now is a window of opportunity for them. Maybe now is a window of opportunity for them to really see what's going on and take advantage before it's too late. I mean, seriously. Like I say, I never offer financial advice. I'm not offering financial advice. I'm just sharing information to help bring awareness and possibly empower people and talk about what's really going on at this point in our lives. This is something that's taking place, that's unfolding when you have ERC20 tokens, including the actual cryptocurrency of Ethereum, is worth $100 billion as of at the end of the third quarter this year. By September 30th, 2020, the real market cap valuation for Ethereum was $100 billion. $100 billion. Still growing with its 15 transactions per second blockchain. People are not screaming and clamoring for EOS, sorry to say. They're not screaming and clamoring for Cardano. They're not screaming and clamoring for Zilliqa. They're not screaming and clamoring for Tron. Not like they are for Ethereum, and most certainly not like they are for Bitcoin. I'm trying to be real genuine and keep it a stack with y'all. Like, like really, when they say try to stack your sats, yeah, for the poor people, man. This is a message for the poor who sacrifice sometimes for things that they don't need, like material goods that you can do without. You might want to expose yourselves to something called Satoshis and collect some of those. Collect some Bitcoin Satoshis, but it's not financial advice. You might thank yourself in the future. You know what I mean? Does it make sense? I don't know. I know one thing that's going on that's just, and it's happening on the low, underground. CNBC isn't talking about this. MSNBC isn't talking about this. Fox News isn't talking about how these companies are buying up Bitcoin by the boatload every day. They're not talking about it because they want to keep it quiet. They want to keep the prices suppressed so they could take as much as they want. Get as much as they can right now. Yo, listen, wake up, man. Try to do the same if you can. Once you do your research and you make your decision, listen, be competitive out here, man, because they don't care. They don't want us to be competitive. They don't want us to succeed. I keep saying, and it's real, they don't want us to succeed. They want us to continue to be under their control. They want us to continue to be dominated mentally, spiritually, physically, and especially financially. Take care.